What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to share with you some reviews of Vibe Kayaks that we did while we were on a trip to Vancouver Island, British Columbia. We're up in the middle of nowhere and we weren't going to drag our own kayaks with us because it took us 24 hours to get there and that was never going to happen. However, we were lucky enough to get the chance finally to test out 3 different models of Vibe Kayaks. So we had the new Hydra up there, we had the Vibe Shearwater, and we had the Vibe Makana up there. So all 3 of those vessels Paul and I spent multiple days on and fished in water we've never been on before, the ocean, the Pacific Oceans specifically. We had a great time, caught a ton of fish, put ourselves into precarious situations, so we really put these things through the ringer and to the test, and we have a lot of feedback that we want to share with you. So if you've ever considered Vibe Kayaks, this is probably the video for you. Let's go back to BC and let's check them out. Welcome back to British Columbia. We're back at the Sea Otter Lodge and we're going to be reviewing all of these kayaks right here. So we've got the Shearwater up front, the Macana's in the middle, the Hydra way down there at the end, which is brand new here from Vibe. So let's start things off by talking about the Macana.
So you have yourself here a very special review because we're here at the Sea Otter Lodge in freaking British Columbia chasing fish that I've never even barely heard of. But before we do that, I wanted to walk you through. This is the Vibe Makana. This is what you're gonna be fishing out of when you're here at the lodge, and it's a kayak that you guys ask us quite a bit about, and one that now that we've gotten a chance to fish out of in some crazy situations, I want to do a quick review on. For a 10-foot kayak, I mean, you can fish the ocean 8-foot swells. Can confirm, have done it. The seat can be a little bit uncomfortable. We're going to test the high position today, and I think that's going to fix the majority of what I was struggling with. What I was experiencing was just at the lower lumbar, a bit of stiffness. But I think between a cushion and sitting in the high position, I do think that that's going to pretty much go away. No front hatch, but you do have this park for your paddle. So you just slip your paddle right underneath here. And it just kind of stays where it's supposed to, which is convenient. And you do have a spot to stash stuff. Well, yeah, and fish when you're done gaffing them in the face. But you can stash whatever you want underneath there. So it's actually to keep the cost down and the simplicity up. This can be a great option. It does have good handles. The drive we've been messing around with, this is the old Hobie drive. It's a fin drive version. I will tell you this, it's very smooth, average speed. And then the adjustability, as we have found, is actually not too bad. You can definitely get it done. But there are some clunky parts. You can get pinched and some things are going to happen. You're going to have to tinker with a little bit. There's no getting around that. Now, one very important thing though about this drive, there is no way for you to go in reverse. So you are absolutely going to be using your paddle at times, especially in freshwater situations. Yeah, I know. I take it back though. There is one thing you can do. You can take the entire drive out, flip it towards you and slam it back in and start pedaling, and you will be going in reverse. I say that in jest. That's not as practical as of an option. So it can be done, but it's definitely not what you've come to expect with some other drives and things of that nature, and it will be an inconvenience at times. You do not have instant reverse. Jeff actually raises a good point too. Unless you're in like the dead center of the drive on the settings, because you can adjust how far or back the pedals roll if they're like perfectly set up for you, but you're kind of short. Like me, apparently, says the internet. Great. Then what'll happen is when you flip it around, the pedals will be way far away from you, and then vice versa. So it won't be comfortable, but it can be done. There is some good under seat storage, and there is some on the left and the right. There are trays for like 3600 size boxes, which is very convenient. You have a paddle park on either side, but it is the bungee style. And I'll be honest with you, if your paddle doesn't float, those always make me nervous. So I may be looking to restart one of those replace one of those handles with one that holds a paddle clip on it. And then one thing that can happen, especially if you have a motor, if you're going really fast, water can catch on the front of your paddle and push the front down, which pushes the back up, smashes all your rods, and they can potentially break all those plastic components. You'd have to be going pretty darn fast, but it had happened to me about 4 times in the course of 3 days and what, 12, 24, 36 hours of fishing roughly. It does fit a 16 by 16 black pack, so if you're a big stow kind of guy, it does have that for you. And there are full 4 bolt patterns in the back. There are 2 4-bolt patterns in the back. I haven't used those. I have no idea how those work or not. This has handled the Bixby actually very well, I think. And the Bixby actually, I think, is a pretty decent complement to this boat because it's pretty light. If you are in a place with open water without a lot of grass and hydrilla and things that will get jammed up in that motor. There's, I think, an appropriate amount of track in this kayak. There's not really a lot of place for a lot more track, but it is in the convenient spots. The only place where I would like to have seen some track is maybe towards the front or somewhere to put a captain's bridge if you wanted to put electronics, because those electronics in this kayak are gonna have to go on the side, or you're gonna have to do some kind of custom mounting. So I think all in all, I think you're looking at a good value. I think it has all the things that you need. There are always room for improvements on every single kayak. So don't take this as a, this kayak is horrible or it's the best ever. I think this works exactly as designed and intended. So let's go out and do a little fishing and we'll try some other stuff. Quick update, I can already tell being in the high seat position drastically reduces the amount of weight that's put on the lumbar support, and that is helping a ton with the comfort. I could definitely sit in this seat for a lot longer. I'm already happier, and that's with already having a sore back from fishing out of it in the low position for about 15, 16 hours. So I already feel a heck of a lot better. It was a big win, just something to be aware of.
All right, you guys, we've been on the Macana from Vibe now for 2 days. And the first day we had some issues because they weren't dialed in. They were fresh, you know, just like brand new kayaks. They needed a lot of work done, a lot of things tightened up. We got that done for today, and now they are performing much better. So I feel comfortable telling you what I think about this kayak. I think there's a lot to love. I think this gives you like a really good budget pedal drive kayak option with a lot of features that you want. We've got tracks. You're on one right now. I've got a track pack here. I've got a cell block over here. I've got a fish finder I've been running all day. Really easy to rig these out. There is no front hatch, and there is plenty of room in the back for the tank well. So just some things to note. I've actually got a bunch of dead fish right there. Neat. And we're gonna eat them later. I'm excited for that. A couple things that are good about this thing: pretty stable, fairly fast. More like torque because it's a fin drive, pedal drive. They do also have a prop drive. I'm pretty dry, like it keeps water out for the most part. It's pretty stable. I'm out here on the big water and I have not really felt scared once for losing my life. So that's a good thing. A lot of features you're looking for though, a lot of good options here, I would say. And the major cons that I would want to get into with this: one, the pedal drive to reverse, you have to take it out, turn it around, put it back in, and then you get your reverse option. It's a lot of work to do, you know, to back up. So that's just one thing to note. And the other thing that's huge for me is this seat, really uncomfortable. So immediately, if you're gonna get this kayak, just spend another like 60 bucks, get a nice cushion or 2 cushions. Personally, I feel the butt section, there's no like support whatsoever, so my butt is like asleep. And then on the back section of this seat, it's just like right on the line of your lower back, and it puts a lot of stress on it. So very uncomfortable. Would highly recommend a cushion if you're gonna look into a kayak like this. For a 10-foot kayak, this comes in at a value price point, $18.99, including the pedal drive, meaning that you can get a pedal drive kayak for under $2,000. There are a lot of modern amenities on here. You can see all those 4-bolt pattern options there. It comes with a rudder. You can swap that out for like the Bixby Versa rudder or do whatever you want. Steers and handles pretty dang well. There certainly were some cons, levels of discomfort. It's not the most stable thing in the world, but it does a pretty good job and it comes in at a pretty decent value. All right, you guys, first time ever in the Vibe Shearwater, and it's on the big old ocean. Because why not? Why wouldn't you learn that way? I'll say stability is really good, especially if you're seated. Standing stability is like a 6.5 out of 10, like pretty good. Shorter folks and folks with good balance are gonna have no problem standing in this. I personally don't love it. I always feel kind of like top heavy imbalance when I'm in kayak, so I look for like supreme stability before I really can say like, hey, you're gonna have a good time with this. So big guy, sorry. I mean, I'm sure some of y'all can balance in this, but it ain't me. Other than that, lots of key features that I think are beneficial with this setup. We got tons of track. I kind of wish there was track right here instead of these like standing pads. I never use those, never have, never will. But yeah, there's plenty of track up front. It is kind of a reach, so if you put like a track pack up there, you gotta like get up, move forward to be able to reach that. No front hatch with this one. With a lot of Vibes, you just get that little elastic cover, which is totally fine. Plenty of room in the tank well, just didn't have a black pack for it. So we're running just the track packs today for the most part. And yeah, I mean, I'd say this is fairly quick too. I'm running the Bixby right now, the K1, but we're going pretty smooth. I don't have a readout on my speed with the setup that I have today, but I'd say easily 3.5, maybe 4 miles an hour. Kind of cruising, which is nice. Lots of good stuff. Also, they have a pod in the middle, similar to like your Bonafides, the SS 127, 107. So that is neat. Got that set up with the Garmin Striker 4 right now. All right, day 2 on the Vibe Shearwater. Something I noticed yesterday. Tried only once because we had big rollers. Whoa, stability is like, it's good, but bigger guys, it's gonna feel really tippy if you like to stand. I think if you're shorter, you're gonna be okay. Anybody over 6 feet, in my opinion, if you're over 6 foot, over 200 pounds, that's like a stability line for most kayaks. So once you break that 6 foot, 200 pound mark, you're looking for a super stable machine. And that's where you get like the Unlimited, the Pro Angler, and stuff like that. Overall, it's a pretty solid kayak. There's a lot of similarities between this and something like the Bonafide SS 127. It is 12'6", 35 inches wide, 475 pound weight capacity. It weighs 82 pounds without the drive, without the seat. Fully loaded weight, 109 pounds. This is a more comfortable seat than the Macana, but you still want to add a pad to it. It's still not the best. This drive comes out. You can actually replace the fin drive with a prop drive. And then the VersaPod here allows you to easily set up a fish finder. $17.99 without the drive, add the drive in, and you're looking at about $2,700. Buy it or don't.
All right, you guys, I spent all day yesterday in the Vibe Hydra. So this is a much longer, much faster version, like kind of an ocean style kayak. So we were on the ocean, we did some fishing, and we put some hours into it. This kayak is super duper fast. It was super efficient with the Bixby, way faster than any of the other makes and models that we had out here. And that is because it's really thin. So not a lot of room, as you can see, to the left and to the right, but it keeps you trimmed out really well and keeps you super speedy and efficient if you do have a motor. It also keeps you fast and efficient if you're paddling as well, which is kind of how it was designed to be used. A couple other key features: it does have a hatch here at the front. That hatch comes over, when you unlock it, comes over this way and has a drop in as well. It's got the tip protectors at the front, and then over here it's got this pod storage system. Not my favorite, but people do tend to love them. So it's just one big open space. You can take the whole thing off if you want. And then there are two little cubbies right here where you can stash things like trash, which is what is in there right now, or whatever else you want. Little cup holder in the middle. Forward-facing rod holders on the front. This is one of the only ones that has those, and it does have two long metal tracks right here for when you're doing your trolling. This seat, at first glance, I was very nervous about it. It's like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do like a full day of fishing in this seat because it's just thin padding. I was actually able to fish for about 13 or 14 hours out of it, and I was really surprised. You're sitting almost like prone, so like your butt is like lower than where your heels are, and your knees are bent up a little bit. It is a little bit like, after probably 3 or 4 hours, you got to kind of get up on your knees. And if it's wavy, if it's not wavy, you can stand, but really get up on your knees and just kind of stretch for a little bit if you're going to stretch for a full day. I did that about 3 times, one for about a half hour. And it made all the difference in the world. I was able to pretty much stay out all day. It does have a nice square rear cargo area with more metal track and then 2 rear facing rod holders. This can and does fill with water. Granted, this was on like and there are 2 scuppers in there too, which is kind of crazy, but this was on a very, very windy, like 8-foot swells day. We spent, God, how long were we offshore, Jeff? Like hours? Yeah, probably 4 or 5 hours in like 8-foot swells, a lot of wind. People were getting seasick. It was much. So I don't remember how well it took to handle the water before that happened. But during that, yeah, there was some water in there for sure. Heavy duty handle on the back, 2 more metal tracks at the back for doing some plate mounting or anything like that. And then obviously the Bixby with the pole steer actually worked surprisingly good. I really enjoyed it. All you have to do is just go boop, 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 and all your steering was done for you. So all in all, I think this kayak is a value. I think it's super fast and super efficient. If you're not a stand-up angler and you're in big water and you want to get where you're going efficiently, it's a phenomenal way to do it. I was also able to land a whole bunch of fish. I basically filled up that rear tank well and had a ton of fun doing it. So it can be done.
Bottom line on this kayak, you guys, this was designed to replace the Ocean Kayak Trident 13, which no longer exists. Ocean Kayak was acquired by Johnson Outdoors in Old Town, and they no longer make the Trident 13. So this fills that void in the kayak market. And if that's the kind of kayak that you're into, especially for those big water situations, this might be the right one for you at $949 bucks. All right, y'all, that was a blast. Hopefully this was helpful for you if you've ever considered a Vibe kayak. I know for us here on the channel, we've been asked about these kayaks for the longest time. And to anybody who asked us years and years ago and we never got a chance to test them out, I apologize. It's just because none of the stores around us had them. And even like our closest go-to spot to test kayaks, which is Water Dog Outfitters up in beautiful Whitehall, Michigan, never carried Vibe. So we never got a chance to get our hands on them. Now we have, and we spent a ton of time on them, and we gave you our feedback. We want to be a resource for you guys. We're here to give you the best possible unbiased feedback we can on any and all products that we test in fishing and in kayak fishing. So if you're a bank fisherman, we got stuff for you, and if you're a kayak fisherman, we got stuff for you. And maybe in the future there'll be boats. We don't know. We'll see. People keep telling me I got to buy one in the comments, so I guess I got to do that at some point in friggin' time. But hopefully you had fun with this video. I know I did, and I know Paul did. So be sure to subscribe. Come back for more product reviews like that and on the water fishing videos. It's a blast to get out there and do those, and we love taking you guys along with us. And if you want to talk some more, join our lives every Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. We go live. It's a blast, and we'd love to see you there and talk to you and chat. But that's all I got for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.